What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's been about, a couple of days now since the Call of Duty servers got absolutely nuked, and once again, skill-based matchmaking was basically shut off due to the servers being destroyed. Not by the developers themselves, but just in general. The matchmaking along with the servers, along with everybody's ranks, along with the whole game, just was busted. And during that time frame, it was just absolutely outstanding, man. I mean, the no skill-based matchmaking phase, it was just a perfect variety of players across the board on both teams. Skilled players, mediocre players, some new players being thrown into the mix, so on and so forth. It's just variety in every single match. It was fantastic. The only downside, of course, is that, you're not getting any score, you're not getting any rank. The majority of the time, everybody was just stuck to using the BAS-B. They couldn't use anything else because the classes were busted. It was horrifying, but again, it was hilarious that people enjoyed the game more when it was busted over the game being in its perfect state. I just find that comical. But again, like I said, a couple of days later, they have gone ahead and fixed up the servers, and guess what got fixed along with it? The matchmaking. And of course, I guess it's not really confirmed because they didn't really say anything about the matchmaking coming back up. But I mean, obviously, if the servers are fixed up, you definitely best believe the matchmaking is back up. And as you can see right here from Charlie Intel, with the servers back online overall from Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer and Warzone, skill-based matchmaking is back to normal. Did you notice any major differences? And boy, oh boy, let me tell you guys, the comment section is absolutely lit like a freaking Christmas tree when it comes to responses that the skill-based matchmaking is back to its regular state. Now, you guys already know my opinion on the matchmaking. I think it's been toned down just a little bit. Not completely, it's still there, but I don't find it as strict as it was day one. Maybe it's because people are leaving the game. Maybe it's because the game is dead. I can't tell because they're always bragging and boasting, saying that Call of Duty is the most sold game and it's tons of players still playing, so I don't know what the reason is. But I don't know. They said in their blog post for skill-based matchmaking that they do tests behind the scenes, toning down matchmaking to see how player retention is. And they also did say that they hear us when we say that the matches are too sweaty, and they're also going to be, doing tests to try to resolve that. For some reason, I really like this gameplay right here. This gameplay is not from the no skill-based matchmaking phase, when it was off during that early morning. No, this is just a regular match that I run through. And of course, I know everybody always says this is impossible. He can't be doing this. He's reverse boosting. He's doing this, that, and the third. You guys can hop into my stream. Like I said, I always stream. Every time I play this game, I'm streaming. I don't really play off stream. I don't really game as much as I used to, but COD is still my main grind. And like I said, every last moment that I'm getting gameplay here, you guys can watch it live. By all means, you can find my Kick channel down in the description of this video. But playing both with a squad and solo, because I do both on stream, I find a decent mix. But I'll tell you one thing, it was a drastic difference between, the toned version that I believe is here. Again, no confirmation, but that's how I'm feeling right now with this matchmaking. What I'm feeling in these regular matches here is nothing to what I played when the servers were absolutely shut down, when everything was just horribly destroyed and, the skill-based matchmaking was basically taken away. Night and day difference between a match-to-match experience. And everybody in the Call of Duty community noticed what was, in their hands when this experience was going live. And again, like I said, they preferred that version. They preferred the broken version of your game with no skill-based matchmaking over what we got now. And of course, as we all know, Activision had to go ahead and revert this. Doesn't matter, man. It's insane. It just hurts because you could tell how happy the community is. You could tell that they really have been waiting for this for a long freaking time. This has been something that they've been craving for ages. They see the community in this state, and they still opt into just putting it back in. I don't understand. They don't even want to experiment with it. Test it. Just see how it goes for player retention. You think they can see player retention in like a down phase when the servers are crapped on? No, you can't see the player retention on how these, players are enjoying or not enjoying the skill-based matchmaking, gameplay. And you know what the funny thing is about all of this stuff? This is hilarious to me. But the main reason that they keep the matchmaking the way they do is because they claim, people who are a little bit lower skilled at the game despise getting whooped. And I always thought that was opposite. I loved getting whooped back in the day because it turned me into a better player. You see the gameplay you see right here? This was never what it was like back in the day. I was trash. The reason I got to this stage is because I did get whooped. And I learned from other people. I learned from what they did. Simply overcame and got better at the game. It's very simple to do. But they don't want players to go through that experience. They don't want players to learn and be tossed into the mix and, have to fend for themselves and slowly improve. And, at sometimes, they'll get some casual games they can kick back on. But, you want to slowly get better and better and better so you can enjoy the experience and get higher streaks. That's the point of COD, right? You want to get a lot of streaks. You want to go on crazy games. You want that kick. You want that rush. But they claim that lower skilled players don't like that, engagement. They don't like that challenge of having to verse someone who's better. The lower skilled players only like to verse other lower skilled players. And then obviously everybody else has to be thrown into the mix and always have a challenge. But the lower skilled player, no. They don't have to learn anything. They just simply stay in their bracket. That's what they want. I don't get it. And they say they have proof, but let me tell you something. Through every single stage of this game, when it comes to the no skill-based matchmaking stage, nobody left. Everybody at the end of the scoreboard was like 1-17, 1-18, 1-20. Absurd scores that, again, they claim they would be leaving and going to another lobby already. But they sat through that. The whole game. Multiple gunships, multiple swarms. They just sit through it. And they just keep on grinding. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe their facts behind the scenes where they say that players don't want to challenge. I think that those players, they might have been pissed off that game, but I guarantee that every single time they died, they will potentially learn something better for the next time they hop into a game. And yeah, maybe they'll get a more casual game than, compared to versing us, but at the end of the day, in that casual game, they can use those tactics they learned when they were dying and use it against someone of their similar skill, get the hang of it, and then they'll get thrown back into another competitive lobby where they can actually test that and use it to their advantage. But they are not bitches. They're not quitters. They're not leaving the game and saying, this is too hard for me. It's not what Activision is telling us. It's all freaking lies. And same thing with all my other gameplays. You see it on my channel all the time, even when no skill-based matchmaking, and all that stuff wasn't going on. And I've been just simply saying that the matches have been feeling easier. You see it in all my gameplays. I always try to post stuff with high streaks because I think it's really entertaining and stuff like that. I try to get the best gameplay for you guys for these commentaries. But in all these games, you'll see a bunch of people still staying, and all the scores, like I said, are the same. Even in this era where skill-based matchmaking is still present, it's still here. The people who are getting whooped are still staying in the game. How do you think that we get these gameplays with, a bunch of gunships and nukes and all this stuff? You can't get that stuff if people keep leaving. It's not possible. If nobody's in the game, you're not going to get the streaks. People have to stay, and they do. And they do it because they want to get better at the game. It's so simple, so freaking simple. But Activision doesn't want to test it out. And the fact that we finally tasted it a little bit, and the whole community was just so happy with this change. There was not a single person that I saw on the internet who could possibly complain about this. Everybody just said the game got so much better. And they don't even want to give it a shot. I understand when the servers get fixed, everything goes back online. But you would think that after seeing the response of the community, they would say, okay, you know what, let's fix the servers, but also at the same time, let's chill out on the skill-based matchmaking and see how this goes. Everybody's really happy right now. They already enjoyed the gameplay enough. They enjoy all those aspects. They seem to really enjoy this as well. This might actually be a good idea. And no, they they say screw you and slap it right back in. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, go down in the comment section and leave your opinions down below about how you feel about the matchmaking in this game, if you think it got turned back up, and also, did you go ahead and play, the game when the matchmaking was turned off, or did you kind of avoid Call of Duty because it didn't give you any rank? Honestly, I don't blame you. That time was the best time for anybody to go out there and touch some freaking grass, right? I mean, there's no better moment than when the servers are just basically completely down and you're not earning anything. But again, it's a trade-off, because if you didn't mind hopping on and not earning anything, you were also rewarded with no skill-based matchmaking. And I feel like a lot of people gave it a go, and a lot of people had a fantastic time. But I want to know what you guys think. Like I said, did you notice it? Did you not notice it? And also, what lobbies do you prefer? Do you like those variety lobbies where it's actually a difference between match-to-match gameplay and also the opponents that you're versing? Or do you prefer a little bit more of a competitive environment? Is that what you enjoy out of COD? Because I know Call of Duty is just getting naturally competitive. Let's be real here. Even if they removed skill-based matchmaking, you will 1010% see a huge portion of players who are just hyper competitive, hyper sweaty all the frickin' time. People don't like slide canceling. They don't like the B hoppers. They don't like any of the people, like I said, play a little bit more extra. But the sad reality is that those people aren't going away. That is the new generation of Call of Duty players, the new generation of gamers. Gamers just take it very serious nowadays, and it's a skill gap to help you improve and get more streaks and just play better. And people are going to take advantage of that. So even with no skill-based matchmaking, it's going to be sweaty. but there's still something about it when matchmaking is off. You know what I'm saying? It's still something about it because I still got my fair share of sweaty games. But at the end of the day, it felt unique enough. I don't mind versing competition. People don't understand this. I don't want to just stomp noobs all day. At that point, it's just boring. Black Ops 4 got to that point, and I couldn't even stand Black Ops 4 anymore because Black Ops 4 was when there was no crossplay. And even though, there was no skill-based matchmaking, yeah, you still get some competitive matches with no skill-based matchmaking. But if the game is dead as well, guess what? You're just going to be versing, I guess, new players all the time because there's not really that many competitive players. People never play COD on PC until now, I guess, because Black Ops 4 died off instantly. World War II died off instantly. But in that game, man, like I said, it was dead, low skill-based matchmaking. It was just noob lobbies for days, and I was just so tremendously bored. I mean, streaks every single game, not even stressing about it, honestly, at that point, and no competition. And it just became a point where it was like, this isn't fun. So I don't want you guys to think that I just want to stomp out, but I want variety in matches, and so does everybody else as well. Everybody who has to work long hours, anybody who has to go to class, nobody wants to come back from any of that stuff. And, you only got 30 minutes to play the game, and every last match that you get out of that has to be a hyper sweaty, competitive, match. Nobody wants that. So, again, let me know down in the comment section on how you guys feel about all of this stuff. And if you would enjoy seeing Activision adding in an experimental playlist, testing out, non-disbanding lobbies and no skill-based matchmaking. But as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And last but not least, we do stream pretty much daily as well, besides Sundays over on Kick. If you guys are interested, I got a link to that down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.